Hello everyone, and welcome back to Game Break, our little presentation where we explore the plot behind some fun and interesting video games. Will here, returning yet again to BioShock 2, Minerva's Den, as Subject Sigma gets ever closer to his final goal of finding the Thinker. That's not creepy at all. Oh no, not creepy at all. Okay, so only one of them was actually a splicer. Better safe than sorry. Mine.
Continuing input of audio data into the Thinker's database. Subject: Pearl Porter.
Okay, Milton. I'm recording this on the 6th straight day since you were home last. I know your work is important to the war effort, but you're not even allowed to tell me what you're working on, and that's so frustrating. London is a beautiful city, but it isn't home. I hope I'll see you soon, Milton.
Ending input.
That's just so sad. I can't imagine being torn between such important work and being with the woman you love or the person you love. And being put in that situation. I can't even imagine what the two of them were going through at that time. And I feel really bad for Porter knowing that he had to be away from his beloved wife for so long. And in the end, it didn't even pay off because she passed away in the bombing raids and he wasn't even there to be with her or anything. It really is so sad. Well, it sure looks windy in here.
Sigma, the main cooling turbine is in overdrive. The controls should be down below.
Of course they're down below. They couldn't possibly be right here by the door. And this place is cold and windy and all sorts of not good. Not that that little sister seems to care. But then again, the little sisters are indestructible, and as we know from BioShock 2, they see Rapture in a rather more peaceful light. So this is probably just a cheery field with a gentle breeze to them.
The irony of my predictive equation is that it sometimes requires blind faith. I see the individual elements crashing against each other, and the urgency of what I must do to maintain my part in the plan is clear. But I cannot always see just why. An Alpha series is headed to Minerva's Den, Subject Sigma, and the equation states that if he reaches the computer core, catastrophe. I do not know why. Yet. But I know what must be done. Subject Sigma is approaching Minerva's Den. He must not reach the Thinker. Detonate the tunnel!
Ah, a recording of when we first started to approach Minerva's Den. And a little bit of insight as to why Wall wants to stop us so badly. His predictive equation states some sort of catastrophe happens should we get to the Thinker's core. And obviously, catastrophe means he won't be able to use the Thinker anymore. Presumably. Like he said, this is all on blind faith. He's assuming a lot here. And all of his assumptions are what's leading us to not be able to progress and simply get some blueprints. Because he truly believes that if we get anywhere close to the core, for whatever reason, unknown catastrophe. Unfortunately, Wall's just going to have to deal with that. We are getting to that core. Oh, well, this looks safe. Yeah, I'll just crawl my way under the giant spinning turbine of death. Well, here we go. Yeah, this isn't precarious or terrifying at all. I wanted a haircut anyway. Sheesh. Alright, here we go.
Climate control system reset. Temperature balance normalized. Computer core access restored.
That'll do. The chamber leading to mainframe access is defrosting as we speak. Head on back there. Next stop, the Thinker's computer core.
Sounds like we're getting on to the home stretch. Not bad. Just a little bit further, and we'll see what this catastrophe that Wall fears really is. Hello, Jean-Paul. And Buzz. And those turbines seem a lot less intimidating at this much slower speed. Everything's still rather icy. Hopefully things have thawed out a little bit more upstairs.
The ice was meant to send a message, Sigma, but you do not listen. Perhaps your brothers can open your ears.
Oh dear. Sounds like reinforcements are coming in to drive the point home. Yep, there they are, other Alpha series. Ow! Well, so much for that. A considerable threat, but not when compared to heat-seeking rockets. Oh, what do we have up here? Two little rocket turrets. Oh, look at their little faces. How about you two come on an adventure with me? Hello, Emmy. And hello, Clark. Yes, I think I'll bring Emmy and Clark with me and have them help me blow up the bad guys. Come on, Emmy and Clark. Let's go on an adventure. Everything looks much better in here now.
The equation is nearing its conclusion, Sigma. The answers lie in the core. The Thinker is waiting for you, Sigma. And so am I.
We're on our way, Wall. Whether or not you like it, we're on our way. The blueprints are waiting. Let's go. No turning back now. Oh, here we are. This is feeling like the home stretch.
Not yet, Sigma! I am still crunching the numbers!
I don't care about your numbers, Wall. We need those blueprints. And time is potentially of the essence.
Watch out.
A bit late there, Porter. Oh, you mean because of the big guy? Yeah, alright. Thanks for the... Ow! Thanks for the warning.
Hell, there's one way into the core that Wall can't lock off. The maintenance access shafts. Sorry to send you down through the pit. It's all we've got.
Well, I guess I'll take it. Looks like Wall, in addition to sending some troops to stop us, has also locked the main door. So now we have to go in through the back way. By the sound of things, it's not a pleasant route to take. Surprise, surprise. How cheery. Yeah, this is going to be a fun approach, I can already tell.
What is driving you into the core, Sigma? What compels you to defy the Thinker's equation?
Personally, I am driven by the prospect of proving you wrong because you're pissing me off, Wall. As for Sigma's motivation, really it's hard to say. We haven't really figured that out yet. You know the Big Daddies are all driven by something. After all, Alpha was driven by the desire to reunite with Emily. Well, that's going to be problematic. But Sigma, not so much. We know Tannenbaum woke him up and sent him on this excursion to find the blueprints at the core, but what Sigma himself gets out of it, we don't know. Looks like we're taking a swim. Oh, joy.
Is it your deep love for Porter and for Tannenbaum? Ah! You hardly know them, Sigma. You have never even met them.
Again, Wall brings up a good point. We've never actually met either of them directly. So, I honestly have... Ooh, interesting tonic. Standing in water slowly restores health in Eve. Fascinating. But enough of that distraction. It's interesting. Why does Sigma continue on this endeavor? He really doesn't have any need to at all. There's no little sister or end prize for him at the end of it. And yet we continue. For Porter and for Tannenbaum. I guess it's just one of those strange mysteries of working with Big Daddies. Although perhaps Tannenbaum was able to hack or program, as it were, the person inside Sigma to want to do all this stuff, but she made no indication as such, and somebody is sending lots of turrets at us. Not cool. I wonder if that's actually Reed Wall.
Ryan's secret police came for Porter long ago. And now he has reappeared in Minerva's den? A man sent to Persephone does not just open his cell door and walk home.
Another good point. I remember what Persephone was like from the main part of BioShock, or BioShock 2 rather. That place was not a good place. Theoretically, if these coincide in any way, we could say that maybe Porter got out when Alpha unlocked all the gates. And this perhaps takes place after BioShock 2 is over and after Alpha's done, or Alpha? Not Alpha. The other one. I've already forgotten his symbol. How bad of me. But after the events of BioShock 2, and this is afterwards, I don't really know the exact timeline. How did Porter get out of Persephone? Maybe he got out on his own. Who knows? Maybe Tannenbaum helped him out. At least we know what she was doing when the events of BioShock 2 were going on, considering after she woke us up and sent that Big Daddy on his adventures, we never saw her again. It was all just dealing with other people. She was here working on this with Porter and Sigma. Delta. It was Delta. How did I forget it was Delta? So many unanswered questions, all being asked at the very end of the story.
I've tried to keep you from the heart of the machine. You did not listen. When the pangs of familiarity sting you, my friend, you will have only yourself to blame.
Not sure what he means by that, but it sounds like we're close to the end. Oh. Well, that looks ominous. This is rarely a good thing.
Well, Thinker, Ryan's secret police are on their way. They cooked up some kind of evidence against me. Treason, they say. I've heard what happens to folks who get disappeared, come back as one of those metal daddies. So, I'm leaving you with something to cogitate on in my absence. Inputting Rapture Departure Protocol. Figure a way to get yourself out of this city, Thinker. You've got to live on, no matter what happens to me. You'll find a way.
Wait, what? Rapture Departure Protocol? So, Porter definitely went to Persephone, but what did he do to the Thinker? The Thinker come up with a way to get out of Rapture? Well, I guess it's this way. What is... Oh my. I guess this is the Thinker.
You're in the Thinker's core. The code printer is upstairs in the control booth. Top-level access only. You'll need to confirm your genetic identity to start the printing process.
Alright, well, hopefully we have clearance. Strange that we're here now in the core, and yet there's no initial obstacles in our way. And what the hell is the Rapture Departure Protocol? The further we get in this game, the closer we get to the end, the more questions seem to be left unanswered. Well, here we are. Ooh, receiving transmission from Bridget Tannenbaum? Interesting. Processing Rapture Departure Protocol. Are these all just tickets from the Thinker? Reallocating resource subject Sigma. Destination Minerva's den. What? What's going on here? Whoa.
Porter, you have forced my hand, you see? The Thinker is shut down. That leaves only two variables, you and me. The equation ends here.
Oh, Wall, you had to be a...
Herr Sigma, it is Dr. Tannenbaum. With the computer disabled, Minerva's den is falling to pieces. No pressure regulation, no air supply. You must defeat Vol and bring the Thinker back to full power.
Thanks, Wall. Way to just... Oh! risk destroying everything so you could keep the thinker to yourself. And now we gotta fight off this army of Alpha Series Big Daddies. Oh, and he's got so many. And who knows what other defenses out in here. And get the power back on just so... Hell, just so Raptor doesn't implode in on itself. Or at least Minerva's den. Delta's working on making sure Rapture proper doesn't... Ow! Sink to the depths of the ocean. I know it can never be easy, but... Sheesh. This seems... Oh dear. Highly excessive. This is definitely Wall's last and final stretch to try and destroy us and keep us from getting the Thinker. He'd probably rather see all of it washed away than lose it to us. At least he left me some handy turrets to hack, so I have some allies. I'll make Wall regret that at least. If nothing else.
Your moment has come, old friend. I stand before you, the trusted partner who put a knife in your back. Do not disappoint me.
Wait, that message sounded directed directly to Porter. That's not to us. Now we just need to find him, the overspliced, paranoid lunatic, and take care of him. This is very intense. And I'm glad I have all those auto-hack darts. And he has apparently got an electric shotgun. Sorry, Wall. But if you insist on fighting us, this is where it ends. Sorry, Wall.
Quickly, take the administrator punch card from Val's body and reactivate the Thinker.
He also has pocket lint and a chewed up pencil. I feel like that might be a reference for something. But now we gotta get the Thinker working again. Before all of Minerva's den just crumbles in the depths of the Atlantic Ocean.
Mainframe reactivated. Confirming user's genetic identity. Genetic identity confirmed. Alpha Series. Subject Sigma.
That's us.
Former identity. Charles Milton Porter.
What? No way.
Welcome back, Milton.
The system ending personality duplication. Subject Charles Milton Porter.
No way. What?
You see now why I let the machine speak for you, Mr. Porter. We needed a voice that would be familiar, comforting, your own. With that copy of the Thinker's programming, we may return to the surface and use it to restore you to the man you once were. Please, collect the printout and meet me at your bathysphere dock. Take your time, Mr. Porter. I will be waiting.
No way. I had some suspicions, but I wasn't 100% sure, but all this time, Subject Sigma has been Dr. Porter. And the Porter we've been talking to was the Thinker, running a duplication program to make himself, or itself, simulate Porter. This whole time, from the very beginning, this explains why Sigma had that innate drive to do all this. In a sense, this was Sigma's plan. This was Porter's plan. And Porter wanted out. All the real planning, everything else was designed by the Thinker. And Tannenbaum was working with the Thinker to get the Thinker out, which is what Porter wanted. Porter wanted the Thinker out. Wanted the Thinker to be able to escape. And in this way, it can. And if Tannenbaum's theories are correct, we can use a new Thinker on the surface to figure out how to undo all the damage that was done and turn Sigma back into Porter. At least that's the hope. Oh man, that was deep. I did not really see that coming. And now we just have to go to Porter's private office and get to his secret bathysphere dock. This also explains way back when why that one woman couldn't get in. She couldn't get into Porter's office because Porter wasn't actually here. Porter was being turned into an Alpha Series Big Daddy, and the Thinker was just pretending to be Porter. Porter never escaped from Persephone. He was turned into a Big Daddy named Subject Sigma and released. Oh man, talk about full circle. This is just... Oh, Pearl.
I believe I'm done feeding audio recordings and personal anecdotes to the Thinker. I am set to test the personality duplication function. Target personality, Pearl Porter. Thinker, are you ready?
Yes, Milton.
Starting test. Hello, Pearl.
Hello, Milton.
How have you been?
Just wonderful, Milton. I've missed you, though. It's been so long.
Pearl, No, this isn't right. It isn't her. Thinker, stop the test.
But what's the matter, Milton?
Oh, God.
Don't you still love me?
Oh, God, I said end function, Thinker. Now! It's over.
Oh, Charles. You can't bring the dead back to life, Charles. At least he knew at the end that it wasn't right. He might have been able to get the Thinker to impersonate Pearl Porter, his wife, but it wouldn't have been her. It would have all just been a simulation. Oh, there's his tickets. Oh, poor Charles. I really feel for him. He's been through so much. I can't even imagine how he must have felt when he ran that test. Huh. He created a color television. He really was a brilliant man. A brilliant, sad man. Oh, the piano. Came down to Rapture to run away from all that life had thrown his way. And then he tried to get it all back and finally realized that he couldn't. The only beauty of that personality replication program was that it allowed the Thinker to impersonate him so that he might actually finally be able to get back out of Rapture and face the surface and face reality once again. Can't run from the horrors of your life, Porter. And you can't imitate what's been taken away. Oh man, this is heavy even for BioShock. Oh, he had a little shrine to her down here. It's so sad. You have to let go, Porter. It's not easy, but you have to let go. Oh, the wedding invitations, wedding photos. Oh, the newspaper articles from the bombing on London. A letter from Winston Churchill giving sympathy over the loss of his wife. Picture of the gravestone. He really just could not let go. He ran to the greatest depths of the Atlantic Ocean and he still could not let go. Maybe now he can finally have peace. Maybe. Assuming he can become the man he once was. We have the blueprints for the Thinker, and Tannenbaum is supposedly waiting for us.
The Thinker never gave up on you, Mr. Porter. It could not leave you behind. Please, step up to the console and begin the bathysphere launch sequence. We have much work ahead of us.
You know, I suppose it's true. The Thinker could have gotten itself out in another way. Could have told Tannenbaum what to do, or could have manipulated Wall in some way. But the Thinker waited for Porter. Wouldn't leave him behind. Hello, Bridget. This is the first time we truly get to meet you face to face. Let's get this messy business over with. To the surface, and we can only hope a new and better life.
I lived through the Blitz, Pearl, and the fall of Rapture. They took my memory, my voice, everything that made me a man, but nothing ever scared me so much as saying goodbye. I wanted to save you. I couldn't resist trying to bring you back the only way I knew how. But you didn't want that. I know it now, and I think I'm finally ready to let you go your way. I stand here with the sun on my face, and it's almost like I can feel you smiling. Goodbye, Pearl. I love you more than I've got words for. Milton.
Oh, it's so sad. I am actually crying a little bit. But at least he was finally able to let her go. Oh man, that was a brilliant story. So well told. Oh, it was beautiful. It was sad, but it was beautiful. The twists were wonderful. It was short, but I don't even want to say it was short. It was as long as it needed to be. It was perfect. And I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. Sorry about that, everyone. I had to take a couple moments to regain my composure. That ending hit me pretty hard, which I suppose says something about the quality of this game and the story. If the ending, or if a story will actually bring you to display emotions like that, against your will or otherwise, I think that's a sign of a well-written story, and a well-presented story as well. And I think so far, Minerva's Den has been, out of the BioShock series so far, possibly one of my favorites. I really like BioShock 1. The main part of BioShock 2 was alright. It was interesting, it was fun to play, but the story itself was a little confusing to me. but Minerva's Den I really, really felt for. I think their presentation of the characters, the story, and their plot pacing was really well done. This was a nice, shorter, but probably well-paced story that really came together. And I say well-paced, but it was even better paced for all of you watching it as opposed to me playing it, since I cut out a lot of those fun little adventures in gathering Adam with the little sisters and the big daddies and the big sisters. Full disclosure, I believe I spent about 6 hours in total playing Minerva's Den, and it looks like I cut it down to about 2.5 hours, so that's a decent chunk of content that ended up getting cut out because there was just no story to it. It was mostly just killing things. Splicers. Mostly splicers. But that's necessary for a game, and it was fun and challenging, just not plot relevant, and we're here to talk about the plot. And speaking of plot, how about that plot? Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I really felt for it from the very beginning. The plot twist with Subject Sigma actually being CM Porter, and all this time the Porter we were talking to was just a replication program from the Thinker, and nobody, not even Wall, knew about it. I didn't even see it coming. I knew there had to be a catch with Sigma and his motivation behind it, but I never expected that his motivation was that he was actually Porter deep down inside. And this was, in a way, all his plan. I mean, the escape was technically the Thinker's plan, but he initiated it with the final escape protocol. And I don't know, for a DLC pack, this was a lot of really good content. A really good story, and I really approve of it. Just in general, I loved it from beginning to end. I mean, it had, like, some of the gameplay elements were shortened down, like, you didn't have the weapon upgrades that you had in BioShock and BioShock 2, you just found weapons that were already upgraded, which on the upside meant you get all the upgrades, but on the downside you lost the challenge of mitigating which upgrades are more valuable to you. And they just threw at him in plasmids and tonics at you left and right, and there was no way to unlock all the tonics and get more plasmids and tonics without harvesting the Little Sisters. And since I freed the Little Sisters, I didn't get as much Adam. Which is another thing, even though I had the options to harvest or save the Little Sisters, I'm not sure I can see how Minerva's Den would have a split ending or multiple endings. BioShock and BioShock 2 both have multiple endings, and the key defining split to help you determine which ending you get is whether you save or harvest the Little Sisters. I'm not so sure I can see how this one would have an alternate evil ending that you get when you harvest the Little Sisters, other than possibly at the very end, Tannenbaum leaves Subject Sigma behind, takes the blueprints for the Thinker, and leaves him behind as she escapes to the surface so she can finish her work. Or maybe just decides that there's no hope. You know, you're so evil, the atom is so corruptive, there's no hope, and I'm just going to give up. And you get down to the end and discover she's gone. I don't know if that is the alternate ending. I may, again, play through all of these and try to do a full harvest, and maybe I'll record the different endings and we could do a comparison video later. I'm sure you can look them up on YouTube. I'm sure there's plenty of people who have recordings of all the endings if you're curious. I think I'm going to hold off and try to discover them on my own, but overall, I would say even if it only has the one ending, Minerva's Den was really well done. I mean, I cried at the end, which is always a good sign of a good story. I cried because of how good the story was and how much it hit me, not how bad it was and how bad I felt for playing it. And I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, feel free to like this video, and of course, tell me what you thought in the comments section below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you like? What didn't you like? How does it compare to BioShock and BioShock 2? And of course, if you have any suggestions for other games for any of us to try out with interesting plot, story elements, art elements, music elements, anything like that, mention those in the comments section below and we'll give them a try. And for more great videos from us, subscribe to our channel at Inspire the Muse. And as always, until next time, get out there and be creative, like the developers that worked in Minerva's Den. Bye everyone, see you next time.